cages, no doubt. You gon' get hit, kick, knee, knocked and choked out. Undisputed pound for pound king. I swing for the bench, knock you out the whole ring. Hot off the press, yes, who wanna test the technique of a master who throw up from the chest. I guess the next worthy competitor so far below me, I can't see him or smell him, etc.
Welcome to the Rear Naked Choke Show. I'm Tap, your host. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd. Thanks for joining us. We did have a couple weeks off. I was in Hawaii, and I had a grand time, but I did miss the lovely Nikki. Is that Nikki or Nikki's evil twin sister? Who is that?
Evil Nikki, too.
Nikki, what'd you do? You look a little different.
I went for the pinup look, cut bangs, made my hair darker, got new glasses.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
I didn't recognize you when you got here, but you look great.
Well, thank you.
Did you miss me?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Well, I didn't miss you either because Hawaii was quite beautiful, but it's good to be back. Did you miss the show?
I missed the show. I didn't miss you, though. Not at all.
I'll settle for that because she's here, and we're happy she's here. How's the, I missed the production crew as we, or Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
All right, Nikki, what you got in the way of news and fight rumors?
Dana White hates Showtime. He wants them out of the MMA.
I mean, how can you not like this guy at that level to, like, just speak the God's honest truth? It's not like he has a problem with Coker. He just doesn't like Showtime. And for that sole reason, he wants to crush Strikeforce because they have a deal with Showtime. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think it's pretty amusing. What else you got?
Dana White says that John Jones is not ready for a title shot.
Again, more truth. You know, he's just saying what he feels, and it's kind of cool. I agree. You know, he's definitely the guy to watch at that division, but he still probably needs, and I'm in agreement with Dana, one or two more fights against a big name like a Rashad, Rampage, Shogun, Lyoto if he ends up losing against Shogun. Somebody like that and that caliber to kind of to put him in the title shot because there's a lot of good fighters still at 205. What else you got?
UFC versus 1, Vera versus Jones draws 1.24 million viewers for live broadcast.
Yeah, we're actually going to spend like a minute on this because it's kind of weird where Spike is pulling in huge numbers and then they go to the Versus and they pull in 1.24 million, which sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to Spike's 1.7 million viewers on the Maynard Diaz card, which wasn't even close to as good as a card as they just put on, or even the 2.5 million viewers on the Diaz Goulart card, it's kind of interesting, especially when numbers are really low on Versus right now. I mean, I think the Bowles Cruz fight in March only got 373,000 views. Torres Bowles got 670,000 views. What do you think, Nick?
Well, like I said before, not everybody has Versus. I know that it's limited to certain cable stations, so what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps they're looking at some people get Spike, some people get Versus, so where they can, you know, showcase themselves in one area, now they could showcase themselves in another. So that could be the only thing that really makes sense.
Strikeforce St. Louis Heavy Artillery takes place on May 15th.
I'm anxious to see this. It's on Showtime. And but there's two fights that I really want to see. I want to see Overeem back in the ring, but I also want to see how Rogers does coming off the loss to Fedor. So that's a really good fight that I want to see. And then they also got Arlovsky coming in against Antonio Silva. Another really good fight. Arlovsky definitely has a lot of game, former UFC champ, and then Antonio Silva, former Elite XC champ. So it's kind of cool to see those two guys collide. I see probably Brett winning his fight and also Antonio Silva winning his, but I'm curious to see what happens. So
we'd like to thank UFC, SureDog, MMA Weekly, MMA Mania, and MMAJunkie.com for providing us the news that we reported today. Up now is Ben Killa Saunders.
All right, welcome back to the Rear Naked Choke Show. On the show tonight, we have Ben Killa Saunders, who'll be fighting this Saturday at UFC 111 against Jake Ellenberger. Ben, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
All right. Hey, Ben, let's get started talking about your upcoming fight this Saturday, Jake Ellenberger. You actually took this fight when Campman went out injured. Did you take this fight short notice, or how do you feel coming in?
Nah, man, I've said it in other interviews. When it comes to our sport, injuries are really, really high, with there being jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling, striking. I mean, there's just so many ways to get injured that, I just prepare to fight. It doesn't matter who they are or what their style is or credentials or experience, man. I'm prepared for anyone.
And what do you have to say about the upcoming fight? Jake Ellenberger, dude's got a lot of fights, but I still think out of all the names he's fought, if he were to get a win over you, that would be his biggest win.
Yeah, man. He definitely has a lot of experience under his belt, but I definitely have more years of training than he does. So I think at the end of the day, we're evenly matched, which is why I believe Joe Silva put this fight together. And he's tough as nails, and he's heavy-handed. But I think I'm better at every spot, and I'm gonna prove it on March 27th.
We look forward to it. It is a great matchup. You're actually coming off a good victory, a first-round KO, I believe, or TKO.
Yeah, no, it was a KO, man.
It was KO by knees, right?
Yeah, he was out cold.
That's what I thought, going from memory. That prior to that, your biggest fight was the fight before that, which was Mike Swick. That had title implications all over it. What do you have to say about that fight? Because I got to admit, I was pulling for you in that fight, and it didn't go your way that night.
All I can say is I wasn't there, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There was a lot of backstory involved, and, I did what I felt was right. And, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, I lost, giving the crowd what they wanted. I had the mindset of win, lose, or draw. Man, I come to put on a show, and the fight didn't start out too exciting. And at the end of the day, man, I try to make it exciting, and I got caught doing so. So I got no regrets, man.
Hey, I gotta say that looking at your division, I really think that it at the top right now is you, Campman, and Daly as far as making a title run. What do you have to say about that?
Hey, man, I'm very, honored that you have me on the list. I definitely put myself up there on the list. Just, like you said, styles make fights, and, I'm a big welterweight with a very unorthodox style. I definitely bring something new to the division that I don't think anybody can really compare to me. And Campman and Daly, man, they're definitely up there. Campman is a very technical striker with really, really good submissions that he's shown, and Daly has knockout power for sure.
Right. Hey, the division's exciting right now. I got to say that. And hey, before we end this interview, is there any websites we can help you promote?
Yeah, man. I want to thank American Top Team. I want to thank my number one sponsor, Tap Out. I got a new website that just launched. It's still in the production stages, and you can go to bensaundersufc.com. You can also check me out on Twitter at bensaundersufc or JKD Warrior for facebook.com.
Awesome. Hey, Ben, we want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been our honor. We're going to be pulling for you this Saturday. We're sure you're going to win, and we're sure you're going to go on and probably win the title someday. And we're going to be following you the whole time.
Awesome, man. Seriously, this was the first time I've ever experienced a show like this, but it's definitely been a cool experience, man. I look forward to doing it again.
Cool. All right, there goes Ben Saunders. Wish him well this Saturday.
Thanks again, Ben, for the great interview. We want to wish you luck at UFC 111 this Saturday.
And we had Main Event Fantasy this past week. Vera Jones. Actually, Chuck Flock won again, so he gets another Main Event T-shirt. So look for that. There's a new Main Event Fantasy. It's GSP versus Hardy, so get your picks in for that.
Make sure you add us on Facebook. Our link is on the website.
All right. And thanks again for joining us. We had 2 weeks off, and it's good to be back. So hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks again, Ben Saunders. Anything else, Nick? No? All right. Well, we'll see you, and we'll see Nikki and our whole production crew, or Jeff, next week. All right.
When I step in the cage, there's no doubt you're gonna get hit.